We are rolling. Okay, my man, so I'm just going to jump on in if you're ready to rock and roll.
I'm ready to rock and roll.
Awesome. So our next guest on Combat Life, it's kind of a funny story how I met this guy. I was wrestling in college, Michigan State, and I think it was my junior or senior year. Coach Minkle and Coach Chandler come up and they say, hey, we got a few high school kids coming on in today. I was like, awesome. I get to have a nice and easy day with the younger kids. And then I was introduced to Gabe Dean here. He came in, and do you remember that? Do you remember coming in and roughing us up a little bit? How old were you?
I do. I think I was a senior in high school. I think I just finished my senior year in high school at the time. So
yeah.
I do remember it though. I do, and it was I do remember.
It was fun, man. You laid down the hammer. I knew right then. I was like, okay, this guy's gonna be insane. I was like, this guy's gonna be an insane wrestler. And for those of you who don't know, Gabe Dean, honestly, one of the most impressive wrestlers in recent years. This guy wrestled for Cornell, Big Red. You were a two-time NCAA Division I national champion, and the list is huge. I'm going to narrow it down to a few here. He, in 2020, was a U.S. national champion, and that was in freestyle.
Yep.
And just a phenomenal wrestler. And I'm really excited that you're on because, you know, at New Way Combat, when I'm announcing these matches, it's wrestling. Wrestling is a huge attraction. And you are one of the best. So, how have you been, man?
It's an honor to be on. I appreciate you having me. So, I've been following the Combat Life page and the New Way, just media in general. It's amazing what it's turned into. So it's been a lot of fun. You've been doing a great job.
Thank you, brother. Thank you.
Yeah.
So what's going on with you, man? Anything new and exciting going on in your life?
Yeah. Actually, usually you just say no, pretty typical. But actually, I get married in 3 days, so I'm getting married on Friday. So I'm looking forward to that. I've been with my better half for 5.5 years now. She's wonderful. So I have that, and it's just it's exciting.
That is awesome. Married man in 3 days.
Yep, exactly.
Holy Toledo. Well, yeah. I got to tell you, I'm really excited that you're enjoying the shows. We're having a blast putting them on, and I'm having a friggin' blast announcing the wrestling matches at New Way Combat with none other than Coach Dave Dean, your dad, the man behind New Way Combat. And he's incredible. I've known him for a few years, but actually getting to know him has been just simply amazing. I just missed him by a few years. He was coaching at Michigan State, and I had just missed him by a few years. But what a hell of a guy. There's a photo of you that I just saw recently, because Coach Dean was an All-American standout for the Gophers, Minnesota Gophers.
Yep.
There's a photo of him. He's got an American singlet on, literally looking like Captain America, holding you in a diaper.
Yeah, the kind of that photo is, I always post it every Father's Day. It's when he decided to actually retire. So he just walked off the wrestling mat. My mom, I was only one, put me in his hands, and it's when he decided to retire from being a competitor and become a father. So,
wow.
Full time, he's already a father.
Yeah. So what was it like? You found so much success, not only on the mat, but in life. Your dad, growing up with a man like that, just a phenomenal wrestler. How did that influence your success growing up? And
I think that, we're just very blessed and grateful to have such an amazing mentor. My dad, it goes out saying, my hero, kind of the personality to, the most. I've been to plenty of youth sporting events and everything, and something that he just really understood from a really young age was that, he just wanted his boys to grow up in sports and develop in sports because of just how it would help impact the kind of people they were going to become. He wasn't result driven. It didn't matter. I mean, it doesn't really matter when you're 8 years old and you're just at a wrestling tournament, right? But I see it all the time. Dads, parents take it really seriously, and they end up putting a lot of pressure on their kids, just on the winning and losing side. And my parents just really understood, that the sports were for development and us becoming better people, more than anything. So it just really, just to have somebody when you're in your developing stages and your brains and your body and everything's growing so fast and you're learning what the world is, to have a mentor and so people that you look up to so much understand that are helping you is really powerful, and just how the rest of your life plays out.
Man. Yeah, because you and I both know that there's a serious dark side to the sport of wrestling, with parents like really getting in their kids' face sometimes. Like, I've been around so many times and I've heard a parent be like, you suck, you're like really getting in their face like you're supposed to be a champion. And I've never understood it, even when I was a kid. It's just not the way to go about things. And after talking to your dad, Coach Dean, he said, when you step in that circle, that's already enough pressure. I mean, you've already got everything on your shoulders. The last thing that he wanted to ever do was, put extra pressure, unnecessary pressure on you.
It's funny because it's like, nobody wants to lose. So, you step into the ring, you put your child into a ring, they want to win. And when they're really young, they mostly probably just they don't even necessarily want to win for themselves. They want mom and dad to be proud. So like, that's even more important than winning. So, you see the psychological development and training like a person to be a great. The parents, when they come off and they're like you said, like in their face, yelling at them, because they lost and I'm training to be a champion and all these things. Well, it's like, and in those moments that are so critical to that child's way of processing, and how to deal with the pressure that, like you just said, be enough going into that ring, it just doubles down instead of, my parents love me no matter what happens. My parents just love me because I'm their child. It has nothing to do with results. Yeah, which allows you as a kid to free up your capacity in your mind to take more risk, which is what you need to be able to do. So it just takes that emotional stress away and allows you to really, tap into more of your potential. My dad just really understood that, so so I see this all the time. And it plays out the rest of your life because, psychologically you become a person and a man, and then you become a father and you become, developing other people and helping other people. And you realize that the whole purpose of life is really not about winning and losing. I mean, that's just, it's actually more of a drug, and it's more about just being in something that you can constantly try to improve in every day, a hierarchy of improvement, really. So that's what really, that's what really all the purpose of your life comes from. So we were taught that at such a young age. So it wasn't like, hey, go out and win this wrestling match and that really determines your fate. No, it's like, hey, go out and wrestle as hard as you can and make mistakes so that we can come back and we can fix them and try to improve upon that thing. And that's really played out into the rest of our lives too. Like that goes with anything. You want to be a risk taker. You want to fail. Like you want to go out and fail. That's good. So we were just lucky to have that ingrained into us at a young age.
Yeah, absolutely. And I don't know her very well, but from what I've heard, your mom is pretty incredible and has been a extreme key component, not only as a parent, but a wife and just an incredible mother. So that combination, I'm sure, added to the success and to your mindset growing up. And as a matter of fact, what you just in your own words reiterated what Jordan Burroughs recently said. I had an interview with him, and it was the same way. He was like, no, I don't like creating that stress and pressure on my kid. I'm not about it. It's all about that growth. So you are right. Blessed, incredible parents. Incredible siblings. Your brother Max, also a national champion and just an absolute stud, an All-American standout. Growing up, was the furniture safe in the house? Were you guys slamming each other into the walls and into the coffee tables and in the backyard? What did that look like growing up with Max?
Well, it was nice when the puberty discrepancy between us was pretty large. Like that was a very fun time for me. And then as we got older, it got less and less fun for me. So now I really don't. Now I really stay away from them. But we definitely, it's so funny. Like even today, like if we're like passing each other and we're in the same vicinity, like my dad, me, and him, like sometimes you'll just get like bumped and it will end up into an underhook or a 2-on-1, and you just start kind of like hand fighting a little bit. We never. It's never like it doesn't get too crazy because things really do get in danger if it gets that intense. But but no, we roughhouse a lot. We played outside a ton. We weren't big video game kids. Video games still weren't actually super prevalent when we were kids yet. So, but yeah, we definitely messed some stuff up. There's no doubt about it.
I love it, man. I had an older brother. Excuse me. Lost him Christmas Day 2005, and growing up, we were all over the house. Like literally, my mom had to kick us out left and right because we would put holes in walls, break furniture. So hearing that's cool, that competitive fire. So he definitely stoked that competitive fire growing up. Did you two push each other?
Yeah, I mean, I think Mac, it's kind of interesting the way, and maybe you and your brother were like this too. But like we grew up in the same household, but our values are the same, but our personalities are like really different. So, which is actually pretty cool because his strengths really offset my weaknesses, and so just like having that, and he's just really a naturally extremely intelligent person. Just things like he picks up things like crazy fast, and I'm not like that at all. Like it takes me like I gotta like beat my head into the wall like repeatedly to be able to pick something up. So and just his perspective at a young age and his just moral compass just throughout my life has been such an awesome thing to draw from his strengths on. So he's been and just doing it together, too. So we both. I didn't really love wrestling till later on in my life, but he always had such a passion for it. I loved football growing up. So I love football more than wrestling for a long time. And but when we both came to the consensus that I was going to wrestle in college and then he wrestled in college, and just being able to do it together was just something really special that we still cherish to this day. So
absolutely.
I texted him the other day and I said, hey, like, let's, the day before my wedding, let's just roll around on the mat, let's just roll. And,
that's awesome.
That'll be our workout. So, that'll be fun to get on the mat with him. Like I said, there's no live, there's no live wrestling though. Like I don't do that with him anymore.
Yeah, I bet not. Probably gets a little out of control. Used to with my brother Scott. And it's so obvious how that you two are close. There was a video, I watched it, man. Max, after he won the title, he was talking about you, and he got emotional talking about what you meant to him, and I thought that was special, man. I honestly teared up. It reminded me of Scott, the love that I felt from my brother, and you two are incredible, and what you've done is just... friggin' miraculous. And, I know you guys are proud. I know your family's proud. And speaking of your family, your youngest sibling, Cassie, Cassie. Now,
I'm glad you're bringing her up because, like, you go on, podcasts and interviews a lot, and, everybody, like, gets, especially a wrestling podcast, everybody just wants to talk about, me and Max. And, I mean, I'm just glad that you're bringing Cassie up because, like, she's, like, super incredible too, so it's awesome to be able to like talk about her on this as well.
Yeah, it's I'm glad because she certainly deserves it. She's an incredible human being. I had the opportunity to star in a feature film with Cassie called Silent Night in Algona. It's going to be coming out at the end of this year. And we bonded on set.
It.
Oh, you did?
It.
Yeah.
Christmas Eve, I want to say, we went and watched it in theaters. Yeah, Christmas Eve or Christmas Eve. We went and watched it.
Oh, so, that is awesome.
As a family, me, Max, cousins, everybody went in and watched it.
Yes.
So, yes. Great movie. You guys did a great job.
You heard it from the man himself. It'll be out at the tail end of this year. You don't want to miss that. But also, you got to check this out, okay? Because Cassie has another lead role in a film called Harson's Island Revenge that is being shot in, 2 weeks? 2 weeks? And this man right here, Gabe Dean himself, is playing a guy you don't want to mess with. Check this out. Picture this, all right? Picture this. 1920s gangster's right-hand man. The dude that does the dirty work. You don't want this guy after you. How excited are you about being in a film?
So actually, it's like so funny because last thing I'd ever thought is I'd be in a movie, right? So I'd like that. That's just been like, it was just so funny. We were having dinner, and obviously, we're sitting there, and it just came about, and all of a sudden, I'm like, it's like on. I'm getting the script, and I'm getting, the flights are getting purchased and everything. So I just am like, wow. I really, I get like 3 days where I actually get to feel like I'm a movie star, so I'm excited about it.
What's cool about that is you share with Max, wrestling. You two are just absolutely ridiculous athletes on the mat, successful in life, and you got to share the screen with your sister now. Like, so you're bonded with your athletes in such incredible ways. It's crazy. We're gonna have to get Max in front of the camera next.
Yeah, he's next.
He's gotta be.
I really did it because I was like, wow, this would be really cool to do with Cassie. So I'm just. She's so talented. I mean, I think I have one line, and it should be that way. I'm actually surprised they're even having me speak. But I'm really excited to see her in action and just watch her. I just think the world of her. So
yeah, her commitment, discipline. She was open, vulnerable. Helped me with my character on Algona. We got so close on set and trusted each other when the camera rolled. It was a sincere privilege. So you're going to have an absolute blast on set. My man, with that said, I open questions up to fans. And all of you that are tuning in and listening on YouTube, ask questions. Start conversations in the comments because I'm going to be looking at them and reading them. And one of the questions that came out, and this, I can piggyback right off of just talking about your family. You're all incredible. You put your mind to something, you put your mind to something, and you accomplish it. I mean, phenomenal parents, great siblings. So, married man here in 3 days. Awesome. When you have kids and start raising a family, the question from a fan is, do you plan on putting them in wrestling? What's that look like for the future?
That's a great question. I think, and I definitely want to have kids, or definitely a few of them at least. So I think for me, I'm going to be strategic in what I put them around to try to get them into wrestling. But I, maybe a little manipulative in that way. But the, and that's how it was done for me too. Like I was like, my dad would bring me into the wrestling room at Michigan State. Where I could just barely walk, and those guys become your heroes, and you're on the bus trips, and you're just like, wow, you just want to be like them. So yeah, absolutely, I'll do anything in my power to get them to wrestle because it's just the same principles, right? That just what it teaches you, how what it does for your development as a young person, and I'm definitely a very competitive person, but the same principles that I was raised by and the perspective that I was raised in will definitely be applied to my children. At the end of the day, like, and I've talked to my dad about this. It's like, hey, did you have like a feeling like it was all going to kind of play out like this? And he's like, no, honestly, I had no expectations. And that's like trickled down to your kids. Like if I'm not going to have any expectations, I just want them to learn how to work hard, be respectful. And just have like really just very sound moral compass and And I wanted to be risk takers because it seems like it's like becoming less. It's like, you know, you need people to take risk. I mean, that's how the world goes around, you know? So I want them to go out and I want them to try things. I want them to, like, you know, I want them to fail, and then they come back home and they feel safe and they can, you know, open up and we can work through that together. I mean, that's how I was raised. So I want them to feel comfortable with taking risk and going for things that they're passionate about and love. So I'm looking forward to, you know, being on the other side, you know, of that and, you know, developing them that way. So it's going to be fun.
That's amazing. Well, you're about to start an incredible new chapter in your life. That's awesome. That's really exciting, man. I absolutely wish you the best. I have no doubt you're going to continue to do great things. I have no doubt you're going to be a phenomenal husband and father. You know, you're just a great guy. I've known this guy for years. You know, he hasn't just come in and whooped me a few times, but, you know, every time you've come in, man, you've just been a humble. You've given me advice on the mat that I've taken. So thanks for coming on the show, brother.
Well, Curran, feelings mutual, man. You've been such a positive. Everything I've heard about you, it's, you know, and everything I've experienced is so positive. So I just appreciate you and everything that you're doing. So thank you.
Thank you, brother. My man. Well, until next time, we'll have to get on the mat again here.
It'll definitely be better than last time. I'm definitely not what I used to be. So
yeah, thank God. I about died. I about had to call 911. Coach, come help me, drag me out of here.
Yeah, that's how I feel now. I mean, but honestly, when I get on the mat now, Thursday is going to be a rough day for me. So
awesome. All right, ladies and gentlemen, you heard it from one of the best to ever step on the mat. Again, do not forget to comment, like, subscribe. It's so important. These conversations that I'm having with these just phenomenal athletes, coaches, they're for you to tune in and learn something. And we want you to be part of the conversation. So like, subscribe, comment, share this everywhere. Until next time.